Hello folks, Eric here again, and once again I'd like to thank you for visiting us here at Thrifty Survivor. Now what I'm going to do for you today is just kind of, I don't even know what to call this video, but I'm just going to show you my personal mess kit, how I put it together. It's basically a conglomeration of a couple different brands, actually maybe 3 or 4 different brands of items that I've put into here. And what I've got essentially is I've got 2 titanium pots, a frying pan, a stove, fuel for the stove, fire steel, cleaning utensils, and probably a few other things. Anyway, and it all fits into here. And a lot of this is titanium, so the weight is next to nothing. Well, I won't go that far because there are other items in here that aren't titanium. Anyway, so what I plan on doing for you today is just kind of opening this up, pulling things out, just to give you all ideas of what can be done. Now, I will say ahead of time that I use titanium. My reasons for using titanium didn't have as much to do with the weight issue as it did toxicity. I personally don't care for cooking in aluminum. A lot of folks out there probably know already that aluminum can be attributed to Alzheimer's. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and as many of you may know, diabetics tend to be more susceptible to Alzheimer's. What did I just say? Oh yeah, no, I'm just pulling your leg there. Anyway, but the truth is that diabetics do tend to have a higher likelihood of coming up with Alzheimer's. Now, I take care of my diabetes, but something else I do is I avoid using aluminum. I'm going to do everything I can to avoid that. That's the main reason. And of course, titanium is also lighter. Anyway. On the other hand, if you do want to use aluminum, that's fine. You can find things that will fit together. Basically, you just have to do your own research. What I've done here is I've done the research for the best deals that I could find on titanium, and everything that I've thrown in here, what works best for me, at least could give you all some ideas. So here goes. Now, this yellow exterior here, some of you might not like, or orange rather, Alzheimer's. Anyway, you might not like the orange, but it came with the pot that's on the outside, and it's actually a Toaks titanium 1.6 liter pot with a pan. Okay, so that's 1600 milliliters. So it's really a pretty large pot, and I paid under $50 for the whole set. Now again, it's titanium, okay? It comes with a pan, which, oops, sorry about that. You got it. Oh, well that was good. I think I'm just too strong for this. Now I overdone it there. Anyway, there you go. There's the pan, so you can fry eggs in there, whatever. Cleaning pad. You know, obviously when you're done cooking, you want to be able to clean it out, and also clean out the bottom, particularly if you're cooking over a wood fire. You want to have that. Okay. There's a fire steel, and I don't remember where I got this one. Basically, I pulled this one out of my vast array of fire steels because it happens to fit in there nicely. And I just wrapped it in here just to keep it from scuffing up the edges of the titanium. Not that it would hurt anything, but that's just the kind of guy I am. Okay, now this I'm going to get to a little bit later. Okay, now here is a Lixada titanium pot. This one here is 900 milliliters, or 0.9 of a liter. And what I like about this little pot, and I'm going to show you here, and there's of course, I packed other stuff in there. Okay, it's got, get this out of the way, it's got this handle here for holding it this way, but it also has a bail, so you can hang it over a fire. And those of you that might have seen, I believe it was the last video that I shot where I was showing how to make an adjustable crane for your pots. This is the actual titanium pot that I was using over it. Okay, and honestly, I wish this one had a bail on it, but it doesn't. But no big deal, because I'll just use this one for those types of situations. Now, in here, just another rag. Something that I mentioned a while back is cotton ball, you know, petroleum jelly soaked cotton balls. So I got some of those in here. What I used for a tin is any of you who shoot pellet guns on a regular basis will probably recognize the lid there. This is just a tin that pellets go inside of. Okay, and this particular one actually screws on. It's Crossman Premier pellets. And even if you're not into pellet guns, you can get one of these full of pellets for about 10 bucks. Okay, probably a waste of money for you if you don't shoot pellets, but it's convenient because it fits in here. And I've got, let me see, 7 full cotton balls in here soaked in petroleum jelly. And I could usually, out of one cotton ball, I could probably start about 5 or 6 fires. So that gives you an idea of, you know, how useful this can be. It's real easy to start fires with that. Anyway, so that's in there. Oh, by the way, in a jam, you could even use the tin as a stove. You know, you can either just throw one cotton ball in there, and almost like an Esmet stove. Okay, just a thought there. Okay, what else have I got in here? Okay, this is my handy dandy can opener. So I can open, oh wait, no. This is a scraper for the fire steel. Now I threw it in there, to be honest with you. I don't usually use a scraper, I'll just use the back side of a knife with a 90-degree angle. But anyway, it fits in there. This is the can opener. What is it? No, I can't remember what it's called. It's a K8 or K38 or something like that. Anyway, I forgot. I can't believe it. I remembered in the last video that I mentioned it. But anyway, just a little can opener.
Is it P38?
P38, yes. Thank you, Brian. Glad one of us knows something here. Okay, now I did mention a stove. Now, before I get to the stove, I always like having more than one source of fire starting. In here, there's a little peanut lighter. Some of you might recognize these things. And what they are, if you're familiar with a, oh man, those lighters, well, I'll think about it. Anyway, it's a refillable lighter. This particular one unscrews, and you got a rubber seal here. And I wish I could remember.
Zippo.
A Zippo, yes. Once again. Boy, I think that Alzheimer's kicking in, man. I must have been licking some aluminum gear or something. I don't know. But anyway, if you're at all familiar with Zippo lighters, the problem with them, yeah, they are refillable, but the problem is if you keep them for any length of time, the fuel is going to evaporate. So one day you're going to pull it out, you'll have sparks, but you won't have a flame. Okay? Well, with these, that's a non-issue. I've had some of these stored for months, and this was probably one of them, actually. Oh, there you go. Okay, now they're not real big, but these are refillable, and you can carry fuel, of course, in your bag if that's not enough. But it's just an easy way to start a fire. Now, like I say, I like to have more than one method of starting a fire. I also threw a couple other lighters in here, just your regular Bic lighters here. I remember Bic, anyway. And in here, these little things, I always like to season my food. And I picked some of these up on Amazon, and I'm going to try to throw some links for everything that's in here, so y'all can check it out if you like it. Probably won't be putting the Bic lighters on there. I think y'all know where you can pick some of those up. And I might throw the pellets in there, but not the cotton balls, okay? Anyway, these, I believe I got, let me see here. Okay, I got 6 of these for about $7. And they also have a rubber seal on them. And I use them to store seasoning, like this black one. Well, I'm not going to open it. Here, I'll open it just to show you how they open. But I'm not going to pour any of the contents out. Okay, there's the lid. You got a little rubber seal on there. You can screw that back on. And I got black pepper in this one. I just basically used the colors that best fit what I was going to put in there. Blue, I don't have anything blue, but this just makes me think more of salt. So I've got salt. I got 2 of these put together. That lets me know that it's salt because I tend to use more salt than any other seasonings. In here, I think I got cumin or something. And I forgot what I got in here. Another seasoning. I'll have to smell it. But and here, I got my Carolina Reaper. Okay, for those of you that like spicy food, I'd highly recommend that. Just be careful. Okay. Anyway, so I got my seasonings in here. Now, this pot, I didn't mention, I don't think, this is a Lixada pot. And again, this is titanium. It does have the bail on the top, like I mentioned. You got the graduation lines in here that go all the way up to, well, the max marking is 800 milliliters. But if you go all the way to the rim, it's 900 milliliters. This one here also, okay, the Toaks does not, oh yeah, it does. Okay. Yeah. A lot of folks will tell you that this Toaks 1.6 liter pot does not have the graduation marks on it, but I can tell you it does. I don't know if you can see it from there, probably not, but trust me, this one does. The one I got has them. And to some people that doesn't matter, but if it does, I can tell you that that one does. Now, I told you that I had a stove in here. Okay. Well, it's just a simple alcohol burning stove. And I'm not sure what okay, this is a Alox. Okay, this came with a pot that or a mess kit that I demonstrated earlier. This is just the alcohol burning stove part of it. You can pick these up, I think as little as like $5, maybe $10 or so. And what I like about them is you can use just regular rubbing alcohol. You can use denatured alcohol. Some have even used what is it?
Antifreeze.
Antifreeze. That was radiator fluid, you know. Yeah, antifreeze. Boy, it's a brain fart day today. But anyway, the truth about these is you can use a lot of different types of, basically if it's a liquid and it burns, you can use it. Now some things aren't safe to use. I personally would never use antifreeze. DEET is something that a lot of folks will use in this. But what's nice about this one, now basically this is just a snuffer, okay? And you can also adjust your heat. Like if you want the flame to be bigger, you can throw this on top and you can adjust the heat this way. You don't have to use this at all. I personally, most of the time I don't bother with this, but when you're done, blowing out a flame with alcohol is kind of hard sometimes. It just doesn't blow out real easy. Just throw that on there and it'll put the flame out. But it has a screw-on lid with a thick rubber seal in the lid. Now, I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to hold it close. I mean, you might want to zoom in. If you can get them to see that. I mean, you probably all know what a rubber seal looks like, but what that means is you can use this as a container for your fuel. And when you're done, you just let it cool off and throw the lid back on. That way you don't have to pour, I'm having a hard time screwing this on here. There we go. You don't have to pour your fuel into another container, which is the issue with a lot of these alcohol burning stoves. This one here serves as a container as well. And that little piece, or these little things here that I showed y'all, I picked these up, I think, it might have been $12, might have been less. I've seen these, I think, for as little as like $9. And what these are is if you're using an alcohol burning stove, you're going to have a way where you can put your pot on top and still have the flame going. Okay. Now, in the past, I had a little cup basically that this would set in with the edges higher, and you would just set your pot on top of that. That takes more space. It wouldn't have fit in here, and it weighs more than these. These are actually titanium, and it's real simple. You just let's see, just put it together this way. Well, I've got to take the lid off again to show you. Take your lid off, throw that on there, and you could put pretty much any size pot on top of there. Doesn't matter how small it is. And I know with a lot of even your alcohol burning stove, the holder part, whatever you call it, the support, the base, you can only go down to a certain size. Like for instance, let's just say a 350 milliliter cup. Well, it'll just slide right into there on a lot of them. In fact, the one that I have, which I know I showed a while back, but the base, you can't really use a coffee cup size cup on there. It'll just go right in, it'll just snuff the flame out. Well, with this, that kind of solves that problem. And I completely did away with the other base because this weighs a whole lot less. It takes a whole lot less room. Everything fits in here. That's my setup as far as my cooking. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, you know, alcohol burning stoves are good for some things, but what if you are in a situation where it's long term and you're not able to find fuel? Okay, for that reason, I also, on the side, I carry a wood burning stove, and I put that separately because it's one of those folding ones. Brian, I don't know, I think I put it up. Did I set one of those aside somewhere? Oh, yeah, on top of there, if you want to just grab that for me. Okay, this is a Lixada. Again, the same brand as this pot. This is the stainless steel one, but I also picked up a titanium one. Save weight anywhere you can. And anyway, this fits into this little thin envelope, basically. And make sure the lid's on good there. Get this out of the way. But anyway, so I did not leave out the stove. Okay, and these are convenient because they're really easy to store, and they're large enough to where, I mean, I don't know if I really need to put the whole thing together for you, but I do this. All right. They're real easy to put together. You just got to have brains, which, yeah, I know some of you are probably thinking, well, you're lacking that, like right now. Anyway, come on, get on there. And, all right. Now, there we go. And the last one is the trickiest, but just to give you an idea of the size. And this also has, and that's one thing I like about these, is these cross pieces that go over the top. Now, I'm not going to bother putting the rest of it together. This just goes in the bottom, and then you put this last piece in. Yeah, I guess I might as well. You know, I don't want y'all to think I forgot how to do this. So, okay, these got these little notches here all the way around. Put it together. All right, and then this piece, this is the front, but I'm doing it facing me so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right, there we are. Okay, there's your stove. Now, that's a pretty good sized stove. coming out of there, okay? Now, granted, this does not fit in that pot. I just tried to find another method, you know, if I could get everything that fits into one pot like this, but I just had to draw the line somewhere because I like a rather large wood burning stove. But anyway, long story short, this just slides right on here. And now, once again, you could put a big pot on there like this one, even bigger, all the way down to, well, you know, coffee cup, whatever. So, that's my setup. You know, it covers pretty much everything. You know, you can burn any kind of fuel in here pretty much, you know, wood, paper, bark, weeds, you know, dried weeds, whatever. That's the convenience of these. The problem with these is if it's pouring down rain and you don't want to be out in the middle of it, first off, it'll extinguish a wood fire, typically. You can cook with this indoors. Now, some fuels are better for indoors. I'll grant you that, like your denatured alcohol, for instance. But if nothing else, you can easily cook under a tarp with an alcohol stove. So basically, I'll look at it this way. I've got every base covered. Most of it fits into this little kit here. And just want to show y'all, just to give y'all some ideas, okay? I'm not really doing a review on anything in particular. Like I said, I will throw some links down there for y'all. Hope you liked what you... Oh, I forgot. I even have some additional cotton ball, petroleum jelly cotton ball in there. So I actually survived quite a while as far as having something to start fires with. But, and another towel. Oh yeah, and a lid for this. Is there anything else? Oh, the kitchen sink. Hold on just a sec. There, okay. No, not really. I tried. I just could not fit that in there. Something I just thought about I'm going to mention. What I like about this Lixada lid is one problem a lot of people have with these kind of metal lids is they'll flip over sideways, and the purpose of a little handle is so you can grab it without burning yourself. Well, if it's down like that and you gotta, you know, well, this one has a little notch. You push it sideways and it goes into that notch, and now it ain't gonna fall over. It stays up. And then it also will fold down when you want it to. Anyway, just thought I'd mention that. Anywho, now what I'd like to do is just thank you all for watching. You know, I appreciate every bit of the views that I get on our channel. Once again, I want to thank you all. Please give us a big thumbs up if you liked what you saw. Please share. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Something else you may want to do if you'd like to be alerted when our next videos come out, just click that little notification bell, which probably will be somewhere in this area on your screen. I'm not sure exactly. But anyway, it's in your upper left, or my upper right. You click on that bell, and when we come out with our latest videos, you'll be notified. All it does is it'll show like a number 1 there. Doesn't do anything else. It doesn't obligate you to anything. Doesn't lock you into anything, except that you'll know when we come up with our next videos. Anyway, again, I want to thank you all for watching. Bye for now, and we'll see you soon.